Hello, my name is Julia Martin, and this is part 2 of my project for EDU 723. My second topic is preparing students for the future. A common global goal in education is to prepare students for their future and to be valuable stewards in their community. Whether we consider a virtual or brick-and-mortar environment, all schools recognize the need to teach students necessary skills that will be used after secondary education. Education's purpose is to empower students to find their own paths to their own dreams. According to this year's PDK Gallup poll, Americans consider a high school graduate more ready for the world of work than a high school dropout. Further, a college graduate are considered more ready for the real world, but not all Americans believe that college alone is sufficient for readiness. Most parents agree that schools encourage well-being, but they may not be adequately prepared students for the real world, particularly when it comes to dealing with finances. In order to prepare our students for the real world, it is crucial that schoolwork is relevant and can be applied to real-life situations. The creation of personalized education opportunities aimed at preparing students to be successful as world citizens is a top priority in education. Cyber schools have a distinct advantage in that since they do not see their students on a daily basis, it is often difficult to build the repertoire required to personalize education. Since communication is often limited to virtual class time or through email communication, teachers have to work that much harder to build a relationship so they can tailor education to suit their students' needs. With limited time and resources, this can be difficult and can only be done through practice and experience. Further, employees are consistently looking for individuals who can engage in good discussion and teamwork. Cyber school students are sometimes isolated and have limited communication skills. Thus, they will have to work that much harder in a physical environment to master the communication skills that brick-and-mortar students have experience with. Teamwork is limited to the virtual classroom only, and even though it is often limited to one project per semester, which is hardly enough to experience and compete with their brick-and-mortar counterparts. American schools today are seeing one type of curriculum, test preparation. High-stakes testing increasingly puts pressure on educators, both cyber and brick-and-mortar, to drill students with information they think they need for the test rather than teaching them to think. Teaching students how to make multiple choice tests does not prepare them for analytical thinking and problem solving skills needed for the real world. There is a big difference between teaching material and student learning. Even in our best schools, we are teaching students to memorize much more than to think. In the 21st century, mere memorization won't get you very far. There is simply too much information to know, and in this point of technology, anything we need is readily available on the nearest computer. What students need to know is how to access and analyze this information correctly. PA Cyber utilizes cutting-edge technology to deliver quality education to all students. Students are exposed to technology they may not see in brick-and-mortar schools. Thus, they sharpen and hone in on important technology skills that potential employers and/or higher education deems desirable. Students are learning real-world skills that are fluid, adaptable, and current in today's market. PA Cyber has the unique opportunity to personalize the curriculum of each student through choice. Students can choose from over 200 self-paced courses that can be tailored to their specific needs. To adequately prepare students for a future that is difficult to fathom, a personalized education program places value on creativity and the ability to engage in independent critical thinking. Our self-paced courses are competency and master-based, which allows for extra time and assistance to master concepts the student finds difficult or to excel through coursework the student finds easier. As discussed in our learning session, a well-rounded curriculum that allows for classes in the arts and humanities provides students with the skills to be competitive in a global economy. Since teaching students math and science is not enough, PA Cyber has an extensive curriculum choice that includes electives, arts and humanities, and languages that many brick-and-mortar schools are not able to provide. A cyber education puts students in the driver's seat by taking an active role in their education. In essence, they are in charge of their own education and must be responsible to do their schoolwork. By empowering students to be responsible to log in their attendance and do their schoolwork on their own time, we are teaching them invaluable skills about work ethic and personal responsibility. Teamwork is not just about working with others face-to-face. Technology has allowed for virtual teams, which promote leadership and communication skills that are a necessity in the real world. PA Cyber should utilize team project work in both the virtual setting and self-paced curriculum to foster these skills to prepare our students to be leaders. To adequately prepare our students, our teachers must also be educated in current technologies and how to appropriately coordinate with the curriculum to make these choices available. Professional development is the key to success for our teachers. PA Cyber should provide appropriate opportunities for continuing education, specifically in technology, to make sure our students are getting what they need to be successful. Effective oral and written communication skills are necessary for students to learn. The digital age has made communication more convenient and easier than ever. Teachers should expect students to communicate professionally in things like emails, written reports, and classroom communication. Things like textees and emails should not be tolerated, and all educators need to make it clear that professionalism in all communication is a necessity. The teacher's role in cyber education is to guide students in accessing, evaluating, and using the increasing amounts of information and resources available to them. Educators in PA Cyber must keep their roles in mind and personalize students' experiences according to their needs. Rather than take authoritative roles, PA Cyber educators need to see themselves as mentors, offering guidance and feedback while respecting the independent nature of student-centered curriculum. The timeline for recommendation and implementation is again immediate. We need to start preparing our students now for their future. My third topic is retainment and recruitment of quality teachers. There are certainly many challenges to teacher retention and recruitment. Even in a struggling economy, job satisfaction is a crucial benchmark in determining whether a teacher is retained or looks for a new job. According to the PDK Gallup poll, nations that invest in improving teacher quality have realized the largest gains in student achievement. This year's Gallup poll indicates that Americans have trust and confidence in public school teachers, but there is a concern that local schools are having a hard time retaining good teachers. The media may play a large role in this, as constituents only hear the bad stories on the news. The recent Penn State scandal is an example of the type of stories that the media really sinks their teeth into. The culture of a school is certainly a big factor when considering attrition rates in schools. PA Cyber's non-traditional means of educating students plays a large role in the way our culture looks. In a cyber environment, developing a distinct culture may be more difficult because of the lack of person-to-person contact for many of our educators. PA Cyber gets many of their employment leads from current employees concentrated in one geographic area. The small-town mentality of one hand washes another is beneficial to those located in the western part of the state, but fails to recognize the talent in other geographic areas. A quality workforce is critical for economic growth. Applicants should be encouraged from everywhere to apply for positions, not just western Pennsylvania. Further, word of mouth is certainly helpful, but fails to identify millions of other potential candidates who don't have a foot in the door through a current employee. In my personal opinion, there is somewhat of a bias towards the other support centers other than the Midland offices, which does cause issues of contention among employees. It is apparent to those who work in other support centers that the Midland crew has benefits that are not equally appropriated to the other academies in the eastern part of the state. Some examples are on-site gym, discounted daycare, and in-house wellness programs that are not offered to other academies. This inequality certainly poses a retention concern for those of us not located in Midland. To address this, PA Cyber must treat every academy fairly and offer the same benefits across the board. This means providing us with a gym, discounted daycare, and wellness benefits that are equal to that of Midland's. Regarding potential applicants, while PA Cyber does allow for electronic submissions of resumes for potential positions, it does not supply a list of current available positions. Therefore, applicants are blindly submitting the resumes for positions they are not aware of. PA Cyber's website should list available positions so applicants know if they are qualified. Particularly in hard-to-staff subject areas like foreign languages and math and science, it is imperative that quality candidates know what positions are open and what qualifications they need. PA Cyber does follow best practices by providing a semi-competitive salary, benefits, and professional development. PA Cyber recruits knowledge workers who support 21st century education for each student. Targeting Generation Y in a cyber school was a crucial move to identify those who are already engrossed in technology and who will keep up the impetus of technology advancement. Generation Y educators have become the leading group of educators as baby boomers reach retirement age. PA Cyber has embraced Gen Y and has actively recruited from this generation more than any other generation in the past 5 years. PA Cyber currently has a mentoring program that allows teachers to co-teach with an experienced teacher virtually. The positive impact of teaching mentoring programs on retention in schools has been documented time and time again. New teachers overwhelmingly describe positive outcomes for those involved in these types of programs. PA Cyber must continue with these types of mentoring programs to foster good relationships among teachers and encourage relationship building across the board. There are always opportunities for improvement at PA Cyber regarding recruitment and retention. Recruiting highly qualified candidates should be done on a broader geographic scale. There needs to be a more aggressive marketing effort to attract applicants other than what we are doing now. The emphasis should shift from primarily Western PA to the entire state. There should be total equality among the different academies, which includes providing the same services and offering benefits like a gym and discounted daycare to everyone. PA Cyber should continue to offer professional development like the Franciscan cohort and possibly open up a bachelor's program for those seeking an undergraduate degree. PA Cyber should also provide a mentoring program for those who wish to hold teaching or administrative positions, like academy leader, director, etc. So far, PA Cyber has seen an incredibly low retention rate. As the economy continues to decline and the cost of living rises, employees will be looking for employers that provide them adequate compensation and benefits. To remain competitive, PA Cyber must be committed to supplying its employees appropriate employment packages that rival brick-and-mortar schools. Regarding recruitment, there needs to be an immediate change to how PA Cyber predominantly recruits. A clear, concise website with clear, open positions is a necessity and should be addressed immediately in a timely manner. While it may take some time and effort on administration's part, the inequality issue should also be addressed immediately, particularly for the next school year. Thank you for listening to my recommendations. It has been a pleasure working with you in EDU 723. Happy holidays.